said you can rent the back of the shop here for 15 bucks a month. Ed says, okay. So Ed buys an old grinder for 500 bucks. And we had a machine shop, jig bore, lathes, and everything. And so I helped Ed make the first cam grinder. And Ed said, now nobody ordered one. How much are they? 20 bucks. Regrind your flathead cam, $25. So Ed started selling 1 or 2 a week, which is a lot of money then, right after the war. And then later on, Ed said, I got to have a bigger place. So he moved out of my shop. And Lipper and I, my partner, which is Centerline Wheels today, partner's son, we split up, and I went to work at McCulloch Corporation. But Ed rented a little building, and later on built his own building. And little by little, Ed became quite well off in the real estate business. Building after building, he doubled his money, and then finally ended up here in Gardina with his big factory is right now.
Now this factory here was built in 1968, is that true?
I'm not sure when it was built. But it was a tool and die aerospace shop.
Okay.
And Ed bought it for practically nothing when you think about the prices today. And so Ed bought another grinder. And he made it. Now he's got, I think there's about 12 grinders in there, grinding cams, 8 hours a day. And anyway, I told Ed, I said, Ed, there's not that much business in that. So I went to work for McCulloch Corporation making chainsaws. And I'm in the tool and die department. And then I was there for 17 years. And in the meantime, Ed was building this business up. And finally, I just summer retired, came here and worked with Ed selling machinery and improving the cam grinders. But Centerline Wheel, Ray Lipper, my partner's son, went on to become one of the biggest wheel makers in town. And he's still there today making the forge wheel. Now there's half a dozen people making the wheels, and that business has got to be really competitive. And like everything else, it has its ups and downs, but Lippert was one of the biggest at the one time. The stamped two-piece wheel, which is very hard to find in those early days, riveted together. But anyhow, like I say, Hallebrand was near my tool and die shop in Culver City. And I told Hallebrand, I said, Hallebrand, he was an airline pilot. I said, Hallebrand, there's no money in wheels. But Hallebrand made a pattern and cast a wheel, and I'm trying to make money on tools and dies, and Hallebrand's trying to make those wheels, and everybody's struggling to make a buck. Ed's trying to make the cams, you know, and then everything took off like a bomb. Suddenly everybody had money, everybody buying everything in houses.
This is my first machine here. I went to an auction after World War II and I bought it for $700. It was a cylindrical grinder, and I made the rocker bar attachment on it. Like Winfield showed me how he made his, and I'd done $1 million worth of work on that machine. Now flatheads, mostly flatheads, you know.
And now when did you build your Model T, your Roadster?
Before World War II, first I had junky stuff, you know, real, all Model T, motor and all, and then I went to the 32 Ford V8, and so I first started in maybe a 37 or so in there, and then we finished it in about 1940, and that's our second machine we built. Became surplus Norton little piston grinders. They were just the short little machines, but we stretched them to do a V8 cam. Yeah. They were only, the center was right here before. Oh. So we got about 5 of those. Wow. And then we started building our own.
Now, what about the time to make a cam? How much time are we talking to do the grinding on that?
The load itself, we can actually do it in a half hour, believe it or not. Once the machine is set up, we might even do it faster. He's just roughing now, I think.
Now, are the majority of them still flat tappet, or are you getting more roller cam work?
Yeah, there's more and more roller cam work, but still a lot of flat tappet. This is a flat tappet there.
You want